order, and we'll skip right to Evan. And
Okay.
you want to share?
All right. So on the screen in front of you is a project that I've been working with the select board on. Select board has seen these parcels and know about the general idea of what we're moving towards and is generally supportive, but they have not signed a purchase and sale or done anything official at the current time. They will take this up at their next meeting in August. So we have an offer in front of us for 3 parcels. These parcels are here on the map, which is 324 Providence Road. There is 334 Providence Road rear, and there is 380 Providence Road rear. These 3 parcels equal a total of 41.47 give or take acres. And they are right along the Blackstone River. This is the Blackstone that bisects the property right down the middle. The town has interest in this, we think, in a number of ways. Yeah.
Doesn't that the southwestern parcel also contain a segment of the Blackstone Canal itself?
I believe that's what this easement shows, right? Is that where it shows up?
The Blackstone Canal is not shown on, as a river, as water, but the canal runs to the southwest of the land trust parcel.
Okay.
And it extends right through that piece that you're highlighting there.
Yeah.
All the way into Northbridge.
Okay.
So it owns I think there's a half a mile of the Blackstone Canal as well,
Okay. Excellent.
in parallel to the river.
Okay. Excellent.
And that's really cool.
Yeah, it is cool. The land trust land that Ken was noting is actually this land here.
Yeah, that water blurb you see there is the Blackstone Canal, and
Okay.
it does extend in parallel all the way down.
Neat. I haven't been back in there yet, but it's on our list of.
And the land trust piece actually includes an old lock
Okay.
of the canal.
Yeah. Neat. Very neat.
And the towpaths are still there.
Yeah.
Right now, you can walk down the towpaths if you don't mind getting thorns all over, thorn scratches.
Awesome. So this land, as we were discussing, so we're in between 2 town-owned parcels currently. So we've got the water treatment plant here for the sewer department, and we've got the cemetery here, which is Fairview Cemetery. In looking at these parcels, I think it's unlikely that we would expand the cemetery at any point into this area. There is a pretty steep grade between the 2. And this does have some wetland that kind of borders where the cemetery is. The prospective uses that we've discussed, at least preliminarily, is just regular open space, passive recreation for residents to enjoy. There is also some potential on this parcel that I'm looking at right here, and that it is flat, that we may be able to look at that for future field space. However, we're not going to say it's 100% going to be future field space because the amount of study that it may take to make that work with our engineer is not realistic in the time frame that we have to try to close out this property. So what I've been saying to the select board and what I'll say to all of you is that I think that this land holds tremendous value as far as conservation is concerned and public access and as Ken was talking, some historical value as well. And I think we should contemplate purchasing it on those merits alone. And if we can create field space in the future, I think that's just a bonus.
So for that parcel 60 or that
Yeah.
lot 60,
Yeah.
is there either a road or a access?
So
a
there is,
road?
because this parcel here, 62,
Uh-huh.
that's one of the parcels that's
you
included in
could-
these 3. So it's a little bit steep of an access here, not insurmountably. So I did do some due diligence on this spot. So I think this is your best egress here, because while there's egress down here, there is also some wetland that may pose a challenge. we can work around wetland, but it's always more expensive. And so I think if we come off of,
I believe there's a
Probably
trail,
trail.
there's trail access from the cemetery.
there is, yep,
I meant vehicular, like
Yeah.
for people to come in and
right. So,
drop their kids off.
right, so vehicularly, I think, you'd be coming in off of 324 here. But there already are walking trails in this that go up along the sewer department, all down to the cemetery.
The, is parking, would parking be okay in the cemetery? Cause that's town property as well. is
Yeah,
it
so I think
not?
we'd have to navigate that, but there is quite a bit of property that's unutilized, kind of down towards the street.
Yeah, there's kind of like an unpaved road that goes around the outside.
Right, the perimeter road there.
And there's access from that to this parcel.
Yep. Yeah, so,
You have to cross the brook.
right, and so that's that's why I'm a little hesitant on saying 100% yes, that's what we would do. However, if that's not feasible or only partially feasible, this parcel here is large enough, I think, that we could create.
How about
some-
access?
That was me.
How about access from the sewer department driveway?
I don't know. I have not had that conversation with the sewer commissioners yet.
Because you can walk down the driveway and you just stay to the left
Mm-hmm.
on the high side, walk into the woods, and you're there,
Yes.
and it's flat.
Yep. Yep. And this parcel here, this 62 that I was just talking about, let me turn on the, whoops, wrong button. You turn on the topographic. So it's about 20 feet, a 20-foot difference between the road and here, which is a hill, but it's not insurmountable. And then once you're on top of that, it's pretty flat. So again, if we didn't want to have residents, skirt the sewer treatment plant or, the cemetery, I think we have a good access point here as well that we
You
could.
could build a stairway,
Yep.
build a
Yeah,
stairs down to it.
stairway, or even a small driveway that would go up there that, you just close for the winter time if it's a foot of snow or something. I do quite a bit of camping and hiking, and you see those type of little accesses kind of all over the place. So I think we have a lot of options to get there. I also talked with Rob from the Land Trust when we were first meeting and going over looking at their parcel that is here. We actually own 60 Depot Street over here and have a potential.
Oh, that little, that
Yep.
text title thing.
So we could.
If that were a parking area, that'd be nice.
Right, that's what we were thinking as well. So I think there's a lot of options here, and I think the land has quite a bit of, again, I think it's got a lot of conservation value of its own merit, and if we could ever add field space, which we desperately need, that would be a bonus, but I think that standalone,
Yeah.
it's a,
I was down there this spring, and I can attest that the riverfront is beautiful. It's just beautiful.
Yeah. excellent.
And I think in terms of access, even though that 62 parcel seems a bit narrow, seeing here, because there's so much open space on the right side of the 63 parcel where the sewage plant is,
Yeah,
it's much more open than it seems by just looking at that 62 parcel in terms of access.
Yeah, I think so as well. And one of the things I was looking at when I was down there is that, this parcel alone is a 1.3 acres. So it's not that small of a spot if we were going to put.
Can you call up the wetland features?
I can. I should be. Where am I? Here we go.
Yeah, you can. So the water kind of seeps out of the incline there.
Yes.
It seeps out of the bottom of that, and it then. So the buildable lot section has some water on it.
Yes, down here. The other piece that I want to continue to talk about. We're going to talk about this with the board for full transparency. Is that this is heavily involved with the FEMA flood plain. So this is where you would be in a regulatory floodway, and this is where you'd have a higher than average chance of flood.
Yeah, and the news tells us every night that floods happen.
It does. So I think that, again, I think there's tremendous value in this property. I think that if we go into it with eyes open and we know, yep, it's a river, it floods, and there's some potential future use, but there's some immediate conservation value and passive recreation use. And if everybody thinks that that's valuable, I think that that would be a good purchase for the town.
So what's the status of, what's the procedure for the town to go forward with this? You need an appraisal, right?
Yep. So right now, we just finished a draft of a purchase and sale agreement. And so what the purchase and sale agreement contemplates is that the town will enter into a purchase and sale, do an appraisal.
Will that have an amount on it?
It will. So the amount that appraisal will show is $450,000. However, if the appraisal comes in below that number, that appraisal value is the highest value that the town can pay.
Say 475, you said?
No, 450.
450?
Yep.
Okay.
So essentially what that means is that if we come in at, our appraisal shows us at 350,000, that's the most we can pay. And then the seller can either decide to honor that appraisal and drop their selling price, or they can walk away from the deal.
So is the $450,000 assume, based on the premise that it's a buildable commercial lot?
Yeah. So to be clear, $450,000 is what the seller is asking.
It seems like high by a factor of 2 or 3, personally speaking.
So
3 probably.
as I stated before, this has not gone before the select board, so the select board has the opportunity to counter that number. The select board has the ability to accept that number and go through with the appraisal. And if the appraisal is higher than 450, let's say hypothetically, then 450 would become the floor that what they pay.
I can't imagine it would be.
I'm not gonna say it on
Yeah.
on
Okay.
TV because I'm still negotiating with the seller.
So the select board is still needing to dive deeper into this. Just time frame wise, if the end goal is town meeting, realistically, when do we think the select board and then their counters and all of that get wrapped up so that it can get before us to potentially vote to get it to town meeting?
It's a great question, Colleen. I don't know that I have that exact answer. So,
The only reason I ask is because we typically meet once a month, but I think if everybody's interested, we would want to get additional meetings on the books to help facilitate this process.
so I think that by the end of next week, I will have a more firm timeline on what that looks like. So what I'm trying to do is that knowing that we're coming into that next meeting with the select board, I'm trying to get the quote for the appraiser lined up and ready to go, so that we can do that as quickly as possible. And I already have legal primed. They're negotiating directly with the seller's attorney, so we've got that all. So short answer is I don't know exactly how to answer that question, but like I said, I think by the time I get to the end of next week, I will have a schedule.
But for our purposes, we have deadlines because you have deadlines.
Correct. I know.
So if you can open the warrant if it's been closed for this purpose,
We haven't even opened the warrant yet.
Right.
so that's the only stumbling block we would have. But you guys control that. So
Yes.
Up until right before town meeting,
Right.
which is
So you could open it for this purpose and then close it again.
Yeah, I mean,
Reopen.
and we could just leave it open
Okay.
until, I think it's, if the select board says, yes, we have an interest in
Then
this, let's
everybody
move
is
forward.
on the same side.
Right, so there's no reason to hinder the process by closing the warrant arbitrarily.
Has conservation had a chance to weigh in on this yet?
Not yet. The conservation department is very excited about it. They think it's a great parcel. We have asked that it be put before the conservation commission and have them weigh in on it. I honestly foresee that going very favorably. It's a highly
Yes,
desirable
yes, it's like,
part
so
for conservation.
the two larger lots seem to be useful only for conservation and recreation purposes, not commercial purposes or residential, because they're floodplain issues.
Yeah.
And so the value of it beyond a straight conservation could never be built by anybody. So it's not being protected from conservation, protected from development. It's just not developable. And so the value of it all hinges on what's the value of that small parcel and whether or not that could be developed in any way and in what way.
Right.
Because it's steep, it has water in it, but it has some flat land down there.
Yeah.
If you can get to it.
Yeah, exactly.
And so that's really the crux of it. And so based on that, I find the 450 to be, you report that the owner is asking for is to be wildly high. So that's my assessment. If it's not usefully developable for any real purpose, then it doesn't have much value, and the rest of the property doesn't add value either. And so it ought to be someplace down closer to 100 than 400.
But I think they're still actively negotiating all of that right now, so I don't know if we want to.
So I just wanted to,
Yep.
wanted to, let you know what I personally think.
Sure.
And I'm certainly in favor of all the things you're doing.
Okay, excellent. Thank you.
Would it be helpful if we sent the select board a letter of support saying that if they did choose to go forward with it, that the CPC supports it and would be helpful in funding it? Just to,
Yeah,
so that
I mean,
just one less thing for
Yeah,
the
I
select
think
board to say.
I think it would be helpful for them to know that, I mean, I'm clearly going to report back to them, but I think it would be helpful for them to have something that we could put in their packet, perhaps.
Correct, yep.
Even if it's in general terms.
Yep.
Like, we might not agree 100% with the cost
Right.
or how we're going to do this, but since we know there's a lot to unfold in generality, yeah, we think this is a good project to move forward with.
Okay, just so that they don't say, well, do we have funding for it? And it slows the whole process down even more if we're having it somewhat presented
Yeah, I
tonight.
originally thought that we were going to be able to get in front of the select board at the last meeting, the meeting of this Tuesday.
Yep.
Um,
That was the first
so,
half hour
so-
you missed.
so yes, this winds up being a little serendipitous, I think, in that it threw the schedule off a little bit. But.
Okay,
So our next meeting is September 25th.
Okay.
We can meet more than that if needed to deal with this, but I think we'll just wait and see how next week unfolds.
Yeah,
and
what my hope is that by the end of next week I can put together a timeline that I can send out to you folks, select everybody that's involved in this, that shows kind of our deadline dates and what we think we're going to be able to achieve.
I think
And then-
the problems that you're going to have are with the owner. He's going, he's going to want way too much money, and he'll get it. He'll try to bargain for as long as he can to get as much as he can, of course.
Yep, I think that's what
So-
we're used to.
the-
So I think that again, the appraisal's the appraisal. So we'll see how that goes.
The next
So
thing is
you haven't engaged an appraiser yet, but you expect
We've
to soon?
tentatively we have an appraiser that we use for all of our appraising needs, and so they've been forewarned that this is coming, and they're going to work up a quote for us.
Yes. Open space appraisal is kind of a specialty in that business, and so I'm wondering if the appraiser that the town uses has some expertise in open space appraisals.
Yes, they do. They're the ones that we've used for pretty much all of the projects that you've had come before you, but also, this is a highest and best use appraisal, so they got to be able to do both. And folks that do this for municipalities that have that experience I've had very good results with. I mean, they drill down and say, that's in the floodway, that's only going to be open space. That's what it is, and this parcel is developable, and this is how it works. They're very detailed. I'm very confident in our ability to get a fair appraisal.
Good.
so the big question that Ken has to answer is available resources that CPC would have.
450 would be hard.
Okay.
But looking at what our balance is, I mean, we have more than that.
Yeah, we do. And I don't know if there's anything else coming up.
But I mean, again, it's not in front of us. So
If we had to do 450, we would gag and do it, if that's what you mean.
Okay.
We prefer
But that's
that
it's still
than
that seems
financing it.
crazy.
We prefer
For
that
that
than
level amount of
financing
money.
it.
Excuse me.
We prefer that than financing it. like we've done with
It's
some other project.
it's not big enough to need financing.
I know, it's a small amount, but
And that would be another hurdle to chip.
I would, if we have to finance
it
it,
would-
we're overpaying.
Yeah.
But anyway, I said that before already. So
Yeah. Financing would potentially slow down because we'd have to go out to bond market. And all
yeah,
that,
I
but-
don't foresee that.
Yep, just making sure I answer
That
John's
is-
question.
I think as long as we have a little bit extra cushion, because we're going to only have 6 months before we get another hit of cash. So
Right.
I'm not concerned because we've done it before that we get down to the fumes. So,
My support's gonna be contingent on.
Negotiate a
Scott
fair
coming to
price, and
meetings
it'll
in
be a
the
great.
future.
It'll happen. So
okay. Any other questions, comments?
Would you like a motion for us to send a letter of support for the select board, just a
Sure.
general letter of support?
I
All right.
just-
I move the CPC sends a general letter of support for the select board's consideration in this process.
second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Declare motion carried unanimously.
Perfect.
Great. Thank you all for having me.
thanks for
And when
bringing
is
your dog.
the next select board meeting?
It is September 9th, I believe.
Okay.
I have to look at Colleen for my own schedule. But yes, September 9th.
Yes.
So it's a week out.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Great. Thank you for
right.
staying.
Thank you. Absolutely.
All right. Bye, Timber.
And I learned something new. I can amend it.
Yo, I know.
Look
That's
at the trails.
Yeah.
it's a good fun fact for
Green
you.
Line
Good night,
trails that-
He's
Bye.
there. Take care. Bye, Timber.
So,
This riverfront is beautiful.
The car.
I was looking today on the bus, trying to gooseneck where.
I think that'll be fine.
You can't
No,
see
no.
it.
I was looking for. I was just
Nice
looking
piece of
for
property.
I was gonna.
General
In the
area.
fact that there's,
King Street. So,
yeah, idea for future use, but we don't need to know that just yet.
It's cool that the
Yeah.
canal's there
I
too.
would say having both sides of the river that far down
Yeah.
is excellent.
You can walk on the towpath all the way
Yeah.
to Northbridge
And
if you
even-
don't mind blackberry bush
Yeah,
thorns.
and Colleen mentioned even just as conservation, great, but with the idea of future potential of fields or bike path or whatever, it's
I'd like
Could you
to
make
not
the
get
towpath
super
into a
weighed
bike
down
path?
in those
That'd be
potentials though, in this part of the, because it could just, you don't want people to stumble on things that are way too far down the road.
Yeah, you don't want to
expect
propose
those things.
something and someone will say, "Oh, you'll not do that."
Yeah.
Right,
So just
right.
don't argue
I'm,
about it.
I'm happy
Yeah.
with just getting the land.
That's right.
I like the town having
That's,
nice land.
that's the step
So
we're
people-
on.
fill that out. Don't put your email if you don't want it. Okay.
Staff COLA pay increase.
So item 3. Where's my paper? Every July 1st, the town has cost of living adjustment, and if we so choose, the 2% is what the town is giving. Beth's pay would go from 1963 to 2002, so she would get 39 cents more an hour. So I need, if there's any discussion, if not, I need a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Do we have to just do that or could we go higher?
You can choose to do whatever.
Does the, I mean, 39 cents, like, could we just do a whole dollar? I feel like it's,
To make it like $21 an hour.
yeah, something like that. I feel like that, it's 2025 and everything's going up. I think $21 an hour seems completely reasonable. We have the money to do it. Just start chipping that a little bit for,
What does that work out to be?
Yeah.
Because he
$21 an hour.
Wait,
it doesn't
But-
come close to the 20.
I thought you were stating a dollar amount. That's the only reason.
It's 2002 if we give her 39 cents.
But we're gonna round up to
We're going to
20.
round it
A
up
dollar.
to 21.
So what does that work out to be?
Oh no, instead
What
it might be more than
percentage?
$1. I think we'll just go to $21. It might be $1.08 or something.
Okay.
It'd be-
Because what
It
does she
would be
make now?
$1.37 hour. $1.37 increase.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me get back to this. So you had a motion. You had a
Amendment.
amendment. So does he have to
Can someone just second my amendment to
Second.
to move to $21 an hour? Okay, so the amendment's been seconded, so now we can just,
So $21. So I have a motion to increase the pay from 1963 to $21 an hour for Beth. A motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Declare the motion carried unanimously.
Nice.
Okay. Minutes. There are minutes that were, I think, in the packet. If everybody had a chance to look at them, if anybody has any questions. Oh, the only questions that I had were at the very end. That in the adjournment, it said someone made a motion and someone seconded to adjourn. Can we listen? Does it?
It's like really far. It's hard to hear when you're in that room.
I can double check and if that helps, if I
Because
can.
I must have played it like 3 or 4 times.
Okay,
And I couldn't hear who was saying it. That's why I had highlighted that.
Right. Okay.
So we can accept these minutes as amended.
With the, yes. So I have a motion.
is that the only thing you had trouble hearing, just see who adjourned?
Yeah.
Okay,
Let's,
I mean, I don't care if everyone goes over it, makes a change.
let's see.
alright, so the motion is to accept the minutes as presented, knowing that we'll add those two names after
Yep.
the fact. Okay,
Correct.
second.
So a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Declare the motion carried unanimously. Treasurer's report.
Okay. Actually, I need to get logged in. Unless, does anybody can anybody see it?
I'm looking at it.
Okay.
I don't know, can you, oh, he had.
I can,
he
but
had
I
the-
can't, I can
No,
log in, but
the
I'm-
TV screen, he had that. That was
yeah, except
Yeah,
that-
he plugged in.
what he did. Okay.
Plug in, would that work? Okay.
if everybody has a copy of it, probably.
I
you
don't have a copy.
Well, it's the same as it was.
Sorry.
It has no, the only thing different on it
And I
from
have
last
that.
month is the date.
Don't worry about it.
And so that's it. So there's
Thank you.
$718,000 available for all purposes, available to grant for us if we wanted to zero everything out. And that's, so not counting the reserves, there's 607,000. And that's made up of 400,000 of undesignated and 200,000 of budgeted reserve. So so we have $600,000 you can use for anything. And then the three 10% reserves are not that big. They're pretty much emptied out. So anyway, there's basically $600,000 there.
So there's 27,000 in open space, so that's
Yes.
good.
You know, we used it to pay the bond this time.
But that's good that we have a little bit. And then also, I mentioned before you got here that there's probably gonna be at least 50 from closeouts.
At least, okay.
But it may not flow,
Well,
depending on the source, it may not
next month,
be available.
next month I hope to have the closeouts,
Yeah. Cause she did all that.
rolled up into that. And so if we have $50,000 there, I bet we have, well over $100,000 more than this shows, once we, update the,
The big chunk of it is
Estimates we
from
made.
the Baptist church, and I can't remember, it depends on the funding source for the columns. If that was
whether they got
any
it.
purpose or historic
Yeah,
preservation.
and the accountant never knows. She never gets it right.
No, but
Or
well,
she often gets
it's
it
like,
wrong.
but that's, you know, that would be the only thing that would trip, I'm thinking in terms of maximizing dollars. for
Couldn't we
the-
also use the historical reserve, knowing that you have the canal as
could.
part of it?
But just to be clear, we have
That's
$600,000.
certainly a historical aspect of that property.
We don't need to do much of that.
I'm
Because
just saying it might make
everything-
it easier for us.
But if we have 600,000, that can be used for anything.
Yeah.
We're
It should be good.
More
Good.
than enough.
But then my question is going to be, do we, if, let's say we go forward with the 450, just hypothetically, and we whittle our funds down, do we have enough with what we're going to receive to cover our expected bond payments next year? Like, will we have enough in our 10% reserves that we would put aside to be able to handle that? We're not going to be caught.
We will have
Unable.
enough in our various revenue
be able to-
sources to cover that.
Perfect.
That's not a problem.
Great.
In
Just
fact,
because I know we're getting close, I just wanted to make sure.
one of the, we have always used a rule that we would never have more bond payments than half of our non-match surcharge revenue. We never go over half our surcharge revenue.
We should write
and
that down.
We're not even close to that.
We were talking about writing that down. We should write that
Yeah,
down.
but anyway, we're not even
Second
close, we're not even
policy.
close to that. So the answer is, with great comfort, we can do it.
It's a rule.
I know, but if we write it someday,
if
people
you
won't have those thumbs.
What
We'll
I'm
need to
reading
know
here
it.
looks like our bond payments could be around 130,000.
Yeah,
Okay, so
and our revenue is in the
Maybe we'll just
500
put on a
range.
future agenda to discuss
Or actually 700.
financial policy.
good.
I need to clean.
Like we already said, it's worth it.
Yeah.
So you had a question of from what the Baptist Church, what source the Baptist Church came from? I'll tell you, do you remember when that was? It was like,
A year ago.
it was in 2025.
For the pillar?
24.
For the pillar restoration?
Yeah, I'm just looking for the Baptist Church. Baptist Church, that came from
A 2024.
the Historic Reserve.
And they came in under budget.
Yeah, considerably.
Yeah, that was $65,000 from us, from the Historic Reserve. And so that's where the money will return.
But they, yeah, how much is that? How much they're returning? 65.
No, 65 was the total amount.
If you want the exact amount,
No, I'm just curious. It
I don't know.
doesn't need to be the exact amount. Roughly, is
60.
I would, if I guessed, I would be 100% wrong. Yep. Sorry, gotta turn my phone back on. Oh, I was gonna say, I thought it was in the last month's minutes, I was gonna say, but I don't think I saw it.
It was, okay, so they got most of the money from other sources?
Baptist Church. $32,000 from the Baptist Church.
they returned
being
like
returned?
half of what we gave them. That's awesome.
Okay. Publicity Subcommittee. At the last meeting, Colleen pointed out that we need to do a better job publicizing our grant program and to work on the brochure for the town meeting. And so I've added it to the agenda. And if there are people that would like to be on that committee to do this work, I would love to.
So, if we make it a subcommittee, then they have to post
Or an ad,
meetings and.
how about ad hoc, or what's
Yeah, I don't know the right term to make it so we can just kind of. We can't be a majority, so
are there a couple of people that like to work on this?
I'd like
Does
to.
that
I'd
sound
like to take a crack at the brochure. I think that's probably priority with town meeting coming up, and then we can jump into Facebook to make sure everybody knows about the deadlines for spring and stuff like that. Cause deadline for October is come and gone, and we're already gonna be, tying ourselves, to accommodate, this project. I don't foresee any more coming forward, but who knows?
If it's more unofficial, I can assist. I don't have the time I did say a month ago, but I can certainly help out with program usage and stuff like that.
Do we have any,
We can send you, because I think
yeah,
I sent that and I can because you didn't get it, I don't believe.
I don't think I got it.
Ken
Nope.
got it, so.
and then I can just, if everybody's okay, I can just come up with an updated brochure, and I'll present it in September, and we can tweak it if everybody likes that
I put it
idea.
on the very first time we talked about this. I should just say it. I wrote down a list on my phone of all the things that we wanted to have.
Can you email it to me?
I can't.
You're the best.
It was.
I thought I was the best.
You are the best. That was yesterday, John. It's a new day. I'm sorry.
It was
Only as
the
good as your last
open
contribution.
space resource map, our previous year's projects, our ongoing projects, their greatest hits, the funds pie chart, what is the CPA, drone shot of the center of town, and a contact us. So I'll just send that to you as that
Okay.
was what we agreed on at that moment. These are our wants for
Yep.
this brochure.
Yep, and I'll take a lot of stuff from the coalition is just such an excellent resource, and I want to try to drive people there as well. You know, I think it's just a great. If you're looking for ideas for projects, go see what other towns are doing. Go look at the data bank and get inspired, and maybe do it here in Grafton.
You talked to William about Facebook, so if you want to share, because that might make your life easier from what I think he said.
Facebook has to be attached to someone's page.
So it'd be attached to our CPC page?
Our CPC page either has to be like attached to my page or
Oh, you mean like
else has
a person?
like a person.
personal
Yeah.
page.
So who's, yeah,
Unless I don't know if I can make like CPC as a person, like give it a birthday and all that stuff.
personally, I think we should start simpler and just make sure we're making content and ask the town to push it out on theirs. Right now, it's going to be highlighting when our grant applications are due, and maybe sporadically, like, hey, this one finished, here's a picture of it, and just hype ourselves up that way. I don't know if we need a full page of content to just weigh it down as one more page people have to follow, get lost in the weeds. Let's just make content and ask the town to push it out for us. I think would probably be easier and more manageable.
Yeah, because the town has their page, so I can
Yeah.
always like just email William and say, can you add this content to our
Yeah,
page?
and if we have a great picture or something, because we do get a lot of good pictures of stuff,
Yeah,
or
we
you know,
do.
go out and take a picture of something, and
I'll say we could also utilize the television studio and just ask them, hey, could you go to this address and get some B-roll? And they can throw together like a 10, 15 second PSA, just being like, here's the latest footage of our newly finished blah, blah, blah project.
Mm-hmm.
And then that can be posted on socials and run on
GCTV.
GCTV as
Yeah.
like a in-between.
It's a good idea.
Great idea.
Yeah, because I feel like not enough town boards just ask them, like, hey, could you just run down there and put together this 15, 20-second hit on something?
Yeah,
And they're more than happy to.
nice. It's just all these things get done and people vote for it. It's just be nice to highlight it somewhere for people to. Check
I always say my dream is to have people lining up here, have to turn down projects because there's so many people wanting
We
to
have the same dream.
come.
So weird.
Okay, so
All right, so
I will send you the brochure,
Yep.
and Jack will send you his.
Colleen and I just emailed you that list of things we wanted.
perfect. Thank you.
Okay. The next item I have on my list, or just to update project assignments. So I'm just gonna go down the list. Town Archives is Paul.
Yep.
I'm still Historic Gravestone. 95 North Street is Kristen. Jack is Grafton Housing Authority, Gallagher Rental. Justin is Cisco. Paul is Congregational Church. Paul is also UUSGU, which is basically almost
They're
finished.
just about done, but the invoices haven't all come in
I
yet.
think they've gotten paid. It's just that
Well, the elevator, or Lula people.
it's that he
Should
said the
be-
check went out last week.
Yeah, so that it should have gotten there by now.
Ferry Street Playground, Kristen, and then the Robinson property, and Ken will update us on that. And that's it. Unless anybody wants to change. Okay, moving along. Project updates, town archives.
Not since last time. I did follow up with her and said that we'd like to have her come, maybe in the fall. So, she was definitely willing to do that,
Okay.
but, we didn't set any dates.
On a related matter, I did meet with the building inspector, and she thought and argued that we could fund digitizing her records. And I explained to her we can't, and she said, well, other towns have. And I said, there is no CPA police other than each body, and we know we can't do it. And also, I said, can I just see some of your records? Because I was thinking it was going to be all this old. It was file folders full of papers, documents, which is then that's also part of CPA is that you can't, whatever the verb is, take over a responsibility of the town.
Yeah.
Supplant. You can't supplant a town responsibility. That's the town's responsibility to keep their records.
Yeah.
That's keeping their records. So that's another reason we can't do it. And then after I had that conversation with her and it's being really nice, saying we just can't do it. If you have some really old records you'd like for us to preserve, we can send you to Green Dragon with them, and then you can use the money that's actually available already, because we discussed this. It's town records, so it doesn't matter if it's from the clerk or you. Anybody that has historic records can use those funds. I'm not seeing that these are eligible for that funding source. And so she finally understood. But then probably 2 days after that, I think I'd sent something. I'd been back and forth with the coalition, and then basically kind of with the no. And then he sent me a long letter that he sent to somebody else in another town explaining to them why they could not do this. So I forwarded it to her, and she said thank you. So she gets it that we just can't do it. So, but the kicker was it was like $250,000.
Oh.
So that kind of
Digitizing records is
that was
expensive.
not.
It's a pretty steep price for digitizing.
But go look in the girls' bathroom, the girls' locker room. It's like hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of banker boxes full of that the town has to somehow figure out how to do that. But that's not we
We can preserve the paper, but we can't digitize it. Yeah, well, it was,
even though, unless they change it. And I said, there's some of this that I believe that would make sense to be able to preserve through digitization the actual
Yeah, it's-
document, because they're not touching it. But that's not the way
preserving
the law is.
information doesn't count.
Right.
Can we have that email posted on the town website so that in the future, when somebody else wants to come across and digitize records, you can just keep
Pleasure.
directing them right to that and saying, hey, I don't love the term there's no CPC police, because it seems like, well, some towns are doing it, but we're choosing not to, and it just seems too like squishy for me. Whereas this email will be like, it's outlined why we're not doing it here. And
Thank you.
in the history of CPA, some projects were funded when we figured out that that's not going to work anymore, and here's why, and we can point to the why.
Also makes it a quick, like, hey, can we do this? And you just, right here. No,
So
here's why.
just have another tab, projects we can't fund. Or
I don't know.
how do you
we
want
can't
it?
fund. Just like
how do you want it?
just call it like digitation. Like
Okay.
like call it out for what it is. So when they're looking like, oh, can we digitize? Oh no, we can't. Here it is.
Frequently asked questions.
Yeah, but I don't even want it to get lost there.
Is there a
'cause-
section describing what we can do? If there is, you could just append what we can't.
Okay, so do you guys go on our website a lot? It's so fun. You should definitely go on. We have all these tabs that Beth is.
I'm just afraid if I did that, I would have so much fun, I would have a heart attack.
Well, then
I can't do that.
You're easily amused.
It's for health reasons.
Right, that's my excuse.
So I guess it could go under application for funding, but that really just takes you to the application.
Have to come.
Oh, if we go to our regular page, it just shows us an overview of the members, things we've passed. So yeah, maybe even just linking, making a tab linking to the coalition would be good, so that drive people there. And then just writing our digitization policy, and then the policy is just going to be that email. Maybe use a word less strong than policy, but our digitization point of view or outlook or stance. I don't know.
Just digitization projects and then include that email to
Yeah.
say, unfortunately, Grafton CPC cannot fund. Here's a letter from Coalition explaining why.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe just say will not, so they can't say, but look, they did it. No, will not fund, and this is why. Make it just a little more.
Okay.
But yeah, the website's pretty cool. Just saying.
I'll take your word for it.
The coalitions is a little better, no offense, but
They probably paid somebody a whole lot of money to do theirs.
$22 an hour.
I bet.
We'll get there.
How about hundreds of dollars an hour? Okay, gravestones. I communicated this with Colleen, but not the whole committee. I had been in touch with the gentleman in Chatham about preserving or conserving the headstone, and he never got back to me, and I was in Chatham a couple weeks ago, and I'm driving back from the beach, and I look up at Dunkin' Donuts parking lot, and I see this guy's name on the side of his truck, and I whip in there, and I said, "Are you John?" And he said, "Yes." And I said, "I sent you something else." "Well, I didn't get back to you, sorry." And I said, "This is what's going on." He said, "This is probably not something that I could do." So, we'll come back full circle. He said the person that you would want to talk to is, and most likely, given the condition of the stone, that it's if it's left out there, the pieces are going to pop off. They're going to crack, because slate it's like phyllo dough. It's just little thin,
Sediment. Yeah.
and they're going to
Layers.
pop off, and that what happens is in the top, and you can see all those little layers, and they separate. And with the cold and the freeze cycles, the water gets in, and then when it freezes, that's when it pops it off. So he said, your best bet, and I said, this is where we started, would be to replicate the stone. And he gave me the guy's name, which is John Stevens with a V in Newport, Rhode Island, if we wanted to replicate the stone. So I said, that's kind of where we started, and we backed off of it because we had concerns about, if we take it out, where do we put it? And if we take it out, do we need to get permissions? And messes, we had
Are the
conversations
relatives
with
still
Mass.
around?
No.
Was there any religious?
Well, it wasn't religious. It was more because, and they're not buried there because Nipmunks, supposedly there are markers there, but there are no Nipmunks buried in that graveyard. That you have this whole mass historical issue. So they would have to submit a writing to us to say, you're allowed to do this, there's no problem, blah, blah, blah. So I think what we initially just kind of like backed, after we found all that out, we thought, no, we'll just go with conservation in place. So that's kind of where we are. Do we want just to let the chips fall where they may and let that stone live its natural life, and then when it pops, it pops? Or do we want to look at replicating the stone and then bringing it inside and putting it like where they're blocking out these lockers? We could put it in the municipal center.
I like that idea, because then you get both. You get to preserve the original stone and then still have something in the place.
Because you'll see them. I mean, I've seen at the Boston Museum of Art, and some of the, it's been 100 years since I've been there, but you would go and they would have these old stones by certain carvers in exhibits, because
Just kind of a morbid thing.
more as an art artifact, you know, as a history of art.
Can you just remind me again, the significance is who carved the stone?
Well, multiple levels.
Okay,
James New, who was a very significant carver in central New England at the time.
Okay.
And he signed them, like, if you dig far enough at the bottom, but he also, you know, stylistically, that this is his work. Secondly, it's a double portrait stone, which means there are two people. It's for two people on the stone.
So is
And
this
thirdly,
is it-
he's pulling her up to heaven with.
Okay.
It's like you've never seen one of those before. It's
Okay.
the subject matter, it's the history, and it's the
So
carver.
is the current condition sufficient to actually for the average an average person to see that and understand what it is?
See what?
See all those
Everything
things
you
you mentioned.
described.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, you probably can't see because the stones are
Is it so worn?
2/3 above ground, 1/3 below, depending on the height, because they're very big and heavy. So you've got to have them enough in the ground so they don't tip. And if you did dig it up or dig under, you could see where these were signed by James New.
Probably preserved.
And so all these things that you say are readily recognizable.
You could see his name. You can see the
well,
double
right
portraits
across
of the
from
man and the woman. You can see him pulling her
Okay.
up
Do you
to
know roughly
heaven.
where? Like, I'm gonna go hunt it out tomorrow.
If you go
Yes.
down Oak Street,
The only thing you probably can't see if you walk by it right now is
Where
James
they,
New's name.
about halfway down, maybe 2/3 the way down.
So you're saying that
Brigham Hill.
one choice is to
You're headed towards the center. It's on the left.
make a
You can see
replica,
it's got like
Right.
a wood
bring the original into a
Frame
display
around
case
it.
somewhere and
Right.
put the
Okay.
replica.
that
Right.
Richard made.
Yep,
Where
it's like,
Somebody
original
put it back
was.
up because it
Right.
was
if
mine.
I
so.
tried to
Could that be
just
done
take a
within the
picture of
budget?
it, or
Yeah,
would I?
should
he
be
said,
able
he
to
felt
just
because
lift
I
it up.
think I
Okay,
said,
alright.
you know, we have
Be
about
careful.
No, yeah.
$10,000.
You'll be the
And he felt like it could be done.
So the
It's
original.
9,500.
Well,
Grant was
turns out that
7,500.
project's done.
Run away, run away.
No, because even
Okay.
if
But I don't want
we
to spend a lot more time
use the money
if
to
it's a
like, pay
big
a
no.
photographer
You know, it's like I've already
to,
spent
to
So
capture
who-
and,
who-
and,
you know-
and we're
post
still no
pictures of
further
it in
down the
municipal
road.
So
center.
who
It's
would-
much
Especially back when we
more-
Who would say
yeah,
yes or no?
you're preserving it in a different
I mean,
way.
If you did it black and white, it's
the-
probably
the-
easier to see.
I think the proposal was to actually
And they have
replicate
like
it.
the history of it under it. Yeah.
I don't know,
Or even
what is
negative
your little?
picture.
It says for preservation and replication of 3 historically significant
And I-
18th century gravestones.
I think the goal was to have 3, but we started with 1.
Okay, then we're talking about one headstone and blah, blah, blah. And so the current vice is to replicate it and bring the original inside to a display
We
case
had talked
somewhere.
about this years ago.
But to be clear, it's
15.
not. It's not a headstone marking any remains.
No,
Oh, yeah,
It's just
Oh, it is.
yeah.
It
I mean, they're
remains
buried
there.
there.
Okay,
they
so
are buried
removing it does what exactly then? How do you mark the remains there?
You put the replica.
Oh, the
You're
replica.
just swapping.
But you have to put something in between because you got to take it out to replicate it.
The old's coming here, theoretically. The new's going right where the old one was.
One of
Yeah,
our like
but
temporary.
you have to take it out in order to replicate it, and you have to have something
Um,
so the replicated ones.
I don't know if he would just take a picture. I don't know that he would have
Maybe
to
they
have
just
it.
put a white cross there or something.
I
Because you don't want to lose the space.
or get haunted forever.
was
for
gonna say,
taking it out.
does this
I
company?
won't
I would
be
think they
involved
wouldn't
in
harm
it.
us
Yeah,
because they're getting
something's feeling a little.
preserved.
Like I love the idea of preserving it. I don't know.
I don't want
So,
to
I
be
mean,
left
this is, the original language was preserve and replicate. So, I mean, it's within the scope.
Yeah.
And this is kind of, we've
Yeah,
done this
I'm all
dance all
for
the
it.
way around.
Just have to mark it with something in the in-between stage while you're replicating
IOU.
it.
One headstone.
A little bit nicer than a highway sign, probably. CPC project. Huh. What's here?
I think, I
Maybe.
don't know if it's here, but like, after my mother died, you know, they stick the piece of metal and they put the letter, and it's like, I couldn't throw it away. So I just stuck it in the storage thing. It's like I could take out her name and date and put that guy's name on it. Roni's would probably give me one. Actually,
There's
just
two
went-
people there, you said.
Well, we could put both names, but I just was at the St. Philip Cemetery this
So-
afternoon, and they actually have a photograph. It looks like it's kind of on a temporary, very nice. And we could talk to it. What Roney's is the one next
Yeah.
door, Millbury. We could get something. You know, I'm not. You know, we're not going to lose the space.
So you're saying it could be replicated,
Yes.
and then the idea would be to put the replica on site, bring the original into a display case somewhere.
And theoretically,
Historical Society.
And so,
I don't know if that was also a stumbling block that the Historical Society, I don't know if they didn't want it or didn't have a place for it, and that was when they were still.
Tombstones are kind of a funny
That's why I
thing.
think of churches. I feel like it would be, it's religious. I don't know why I think that, but
Well, I
What
feel like
church would it be?
which church, right?
Yeah,
I'm sure it was congregation. That was it. That was your choice.
it's also once
So,
we have a replica
we've
in
got to deal with
the
the Congo
ground,
Church.
if we're keeping this for artistic purposes, we can kind of break it down a little bit so that it's not as massive. That might make people a little bit more wanting to take it.
What? Are you talking
Who
about
wants
the
to break
actual
it?
piece?
Well, I
Yeah,
was
so
like,
the question-
break
I
it.
don't
I'm
think
saying
we can.
it was taken out of the ground, and we have the replica in there.
John is saying, what are we really gonna do with the original piece?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wants
who
to
would
break
want
it.
Well, not break it.
Make it small.
Maybe trim it.
You're gonna get
trim
cursed.
it.
Don't do that.
No, that's.
That's the opposite of preservation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
So the real question is, who would want it if who would
Not
want the
I.
original?
So I would have to talk to
Would it like go in a basement somewhere?
Evan. No, it would need to be on display. It can't
That'd be
just be.
creepy if you knew it was there.
It can't be just shoved in a closet. It needs to be put on display. I mean, we're spending a lot of money, and it needs to be.
Is it the kind
Warehouse?
of thing that the town would want to have on display?
That's why I need to talk to Evan. You know, is this?
Townhouse Tavern as a don't drink and drive.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so it sounds like that's the next step, John. what you just
That's
said.
the hard step.
See who'd like it.
Who wants it?
Yeah, who wants it? And so, you don't want to go through all of this if no one wants it. And we're creating an albatross that no one.
It's kind of like the fountain that no one wants.
I'm gonna say something ignorant. Is this because you said that this is from a native tribe?
No. This
Okay.
is a white person.
Okay, because I thought when we talked about it at the beginning, it was talking about
No,
no
that was
remains
that
being
was
ripped,
part,
but
that was
that's-
one of the problems with removing the stone, not because of the stone itself, but I don't know if there's some mass law that said you've got to go through mass historical if there have been native burials in that burying ground, just on the off chance that there's some connection ish.
I see.
Are there?
Any printing
No.
Indians
No.
buried there?
No, that even though there's a little mark, there's a big granite stone with a bronze plaque on it, but there are no Nipmunks buried there. They don't bury that way. They're all buried secretly on Brigham Hill Road, and it says on Providence Road, Indian burying ground or something like that, and it has kind of the little.
Yeah, I've seen that.
There are no Native
Okay,
Americans
so
buried there.
the answer to that question is is fine. It is that there's no issue there.
Mass Historical you'd have to jump through their hoops for them to say that for us to pull it, yes. But I don't believe there are any issues.
Does Mass Historical, when's the last time we reached out to them about this?
15 years ago.
Can we maybe circle back with them, see if there's a protocol about, taking it out, and maybe
Right.
they have a home for it, or maybe they have we do this all the time, just XYZ this. I think like they might be a good resource to double
To me,
check
the
with.
Historical Society is the most likely candidate.
But if they don't want it, like you can't
I
force
think
someone
we-
to say, "Here's your old headstone."
I think we should. I think we should be like this.
I mean, I
is
would
it.
think
You must-
you would. I would want this
Leave it on the
locally
doorstep.
because all the Nipmuc artifacts
cool.
that came from Grafton are in Boston. We have none of them. All that stuff that we paid to have exhumed from Hassanesset Woods are in Boston
Why?
in boxes because that was the way they do it.
At Boston University, right?
No, the Mass Archives
It was UMass.
or the
It was UMass. Wasn't it? I think it was UMass.
right, but they put everything in Mass Art. That for whatever reason, Mass Historical. That must be the way you do that. Is that they
State property.
technically, but also it's like where
Should
would
be
we
able
put
to
them?
borrow
Would
them,
we
though, if they came
have
from your
Did you-
security?
Yeah, when we're doing like
Yeah, if you want to put
Yes.
an exhibit out or something,
I mean, I think they've let them come back, but they permanently reside there.
Yeah.
For I think for safety reasons, which is a good thing, conservation reasons, good thing. If you're not equipped to manage them, it's probably best that you don't have that stuff.
Right.
It'll disappear. It'll walk off like a lot of stuff. Okay, so I will talk to Mass Historical. I will talk to Evan. I will talk to the Historical Society. So,
good luck.
okay, 95 North Street. I got a bill that. What is today? I gave that to you yesterday.
Yeah,
They've been working there. I'm seeing
So, but it was a big,
and it was too late.
it was a
They- by
big chunk of
noon.
money.
They will,
They changed the name. It's the same to Ray Dunez. But he's going by something else.
do we have a W-9 for it?
Yeah. Justin Butcher. Oh, it's different. Oh, $30,000.
Oh, then what's the, oh, okay.
They're called,
Okay. Yep.
um,
Balance to finish, sorry. It'd be $30,922.50.
can't find their name on here. But it's Ray Dunetz, who was the one who was the consultant. Oh, here it is. It's called PLMCO Inc. Doing DBA Busy Bee Nursery. Because I was
Oh,
like, Busy
Busy
Bee,
Bee, I
like
know.
the.
So what did he do
No.
for his invoice?
He bond and office overhead, mobilization, erosion control, layout and testing. And this was approved by conservation and recreation.
I think the town's been doing a lot of work, like just at the entrance.
But you
getting-
can see
leveling it
if you
out.
go by there, trees are down, it's
Yeah,
cleaned
they're
out.
leveling it out.
So there's,
for the
you can
parking
see
area.
works taking place. So that's all I can add to that.
I'm enjoying the sidewalks.
Yeah. And I did ask Cindy, because I said, why are those are city sidewalk, town sidewalks, why are those cement? And the other ones the town has done are asphalt. I didn't follow up to find out. Because the state ones, because the ones all on Millbury Street by the school,
These are a lot more
Those are all
expensive. They're
asphalt.
granite curbs.
but why it's all granite curbs, it's granite curbs on Millbury Street, but why is it, some are asphalt, some are block, or
The asphalt is the cheap.
but why does one neighborhood get one and another neighborhood get another? Is my question.
I think main roads probably get the.
Millbury Street's a
granite.
main road,
I don't know.
so
Which is better?
Granite
could
and
be-
concrete.
How much room they
Last
have,
one.
if they don't have enough space to do.
no, it's the same way. It's just that one.
just
It's
guessing.
two choices of materials.
Does the sidewalk extend to 95 North Street and that's where it
Yes.
ends?
No, it goes beyond. Goes beyond.
All the way down to?
It starts at the, where Carroll Road comes out. So if you go up, there's a little neighborhood that's just a
Stone
short ways up if you're going up the hill. It
That
starts
cul-
there. And it goes all the way up and connects with the existing sidewalk that's on North Street. So it's awesome.
It's all the way down the hill, but it narrowed the road. They came into the road to build it because they ended up cutting down a lot of trees. But I think there were boulders and a lot of other obstacles, so
there were
they
stone
didn't have a
walls.
lot of choice. They
Yeah, I saw
had
that.
to come
I
into the road.
just didn't recall exactly how far it extended down
Yeah,
the hill.
almost all the way to Carroll.
The road's still wide enough. And it gets
Very
the pedestrians off the road, which is awesome,
Okay,
being one of them.
moving on. Grafton Housing Authority rental assistance.
I have 3 nice updates. All of the funds that we had requested at the last meeting were all received in a timely manner, so that's all set. We have a rough estimate as to how much we've spent so far, but in doing the backwards math we've been doing, we're not sure if this includes the original pilot program money or if this is just the money we've been allocated since the program became official, but to date, we have received $12,479 and have assisted over 10 families get into housing,
Awesome.
who otherwise would not have been able to.
That's great.
So that's all excellent.
How
And
many families? 10?
at least 10. We considered all applicants families for the purposes of anonymity, the word I can never say right. And because we've helped families and individuals, it just works out to say families. But again, we're not sure if that includes that original. I think it was like 10,000 for the pilot, and then 20 for the official first request. So we're gonna double back again and figure out exactly what we're at, because then, in accordance to our policy, we can come back here with another request for funds to fill that back
You
up.
expect to do that in October?
Probably not. Probably going to be after. And then I already told the housing authority I don't yet feel comfortable asking for an increased amount, because this is the first full year of the program. I want at least 2 years to see how much we spend, and then I'd feel comfortable coming here and saying, hey, let's try 30, or, increasing the amount. So I want to see it, we've had a fluctuating number of vacancies over the past couple of years, so I want a steady amount of data before I ask for an increased amount of funds. But so far, program's going swimmingly, no complaints. And the other good update is, while the EOHLC had no interest in this program, I reached out to Stuart, and he has a lot of interest in the program and promoting it, and I am working with him on what they need and what we have, because one of the genuine understandable concerns from EOHLC was not every housing authority has, people that we would trust getting all this money. And so, because we have that trust, we have all our policy written down, and we have written in it that the funds are to be requested and handed out at the discretion of our executive director, because we trust that, and it makes it run efficiently. But I totally understand if other towns maybe don't have that level of trust. So right now, the steps we're at are refining the policy on our end, getting all the language over to Stuart so that he can take a look and say, we like all this, we feel comfortable promoting this out on our end to other municipalities, and hopefully that becomes sort of partnership between.
Do you guys have an attorney to run it through?
We ran it through the EOHLC legal. They have a ton of representatives is the wrong word, but delegates, where EOHLC is the big monster, and then they have a couple people that's you work with all the towns in this area, and you work with all the towns in this area, and there are two main people that is us getting money and us spending money is a separate person, and then we just relay everything legally to EOHLC, and they get back to us. For this program, I believe the only legal we've run was, can we give out money in this manner? Can we take money from our municipality and give it to tenants or prospective tenants? And they said yes. And yes, because it's this is money the state doesn't have to spend, but it's still helping the tenant, so sure. And then as far as CPC legality, I'm pretty sure as far as we ran it was, are we all okay with it? The town voted in favor of it, and at an event with Stuart, I said, hey, this is what we're doing. Is this all within the CPA guidelines? And he said yes. So that's where we are legal-wise. So those are we also had, this isn't CPC related, but we had our 2 big summer cookout events that were very well attended by the communities over at Forest Lane and Maxwell Drive, and because of how successful they were, we are anticipating getting state funding for them going forward. So we won't have to fundraise for them.
There's some pictures of those, so it's nice.
Okay, thank you. Since Justin's not here, we won't have an update for Cisco. Paul, the Congregational Church.
So nothing new other than, where we left off, which is that the project's on hold. They were hopeful that they could enlist the contractor that was helping out at the UUSGU with their lift to do the steeple piece, because that was the piece that the original contractor backed out on. They're still involved for the rest, but they don't want to take that on. So, nothing more. I haven't heard anything from Andy on that, why am I drawing a blank?
Rob.
Rob, thank you.
Okay.
Rob Lane.
Do we know if they were able to get the UU contractor?
No, I don't.
Oh, we don't know, or they
No.
didn't.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The lift project.
So there is a dedication, I guess, is the appropriate term that they are going to be holding on the 13th of September, and they've asked for CPA or CPC representation. And I was planning on going, but then I won 2 Red Sox tickets
Congrats.
from work.
Nice.
So I am not going to be able to go. It's a Yankees game too, so I definitely don't want to miss it.
They'll understand.
But John, I know you originally didn't think you would be able to attend, but now
I'll
you
plan
said,
on going.
yeah, that's awesome.
That's a sad.
Because they would like
Saturday.
somebody from CPC to say a few
And
things.
I finally RSVP'd yesterday.
Oh, you did, good. Good.
So
do
that
we
project's
need to
closed out, but
RSVP?
closed out.
It's not closed out.
But it-
They've
anyway.
only submitted a couple of invoices. There's more invoices coming, but I don't know what the holdup was. There was a delay in getting the first. Well, I don't know if it's the first. It may be the final one, but the lift company, the actual physical lift, they were paid, so they should have gotten their check.
Okay,
by
so
now.
it'll close out next year, then, fine,
Yeah, it's not gonna close.
or
out.
this year, as we say,
But there won't be any money.
20, okay.
We should be seeing a bunch of invoices soon. I know I got one today. I haven't even had a chance to look at it from Andy, so.
Okay, so Ferry Street, there won't be a report because I don't know anything about it. And
That work's not
Kristen's
gonna be
not
done
here.
till next year though, right? I mean, they don't have-
the equipment is all there.
Oh, they
It's
got it that fast?
I mean, it's there, but
Last time she said she was hoping it'd be done late fall.
I didn't realize they already
because
had
they
the equipment.
gave us a bill and I said, you got to pay your first. So it was like, I don't know, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and they had to pay $100,000 out of that first. We paid 70 or something. So Robinson Baseline, that's
It is complete, it's been submitted to Conservation Commission, and, when they approve it, it'll be done.
okay. Colleen, Affordable Housing Trust.
Okay, no update because I missed the last meeting.
I can't believe you must have been
Were you sick?
or gone.
I was on vacation.
Oh.
I thought about zooming in, but my family was
I
probably
figured you'd
gonna.
drag back for it.
Well, I could have zoomed, but I didn't. Sorry, everybody. I let everybody down.
That's it.
So, do we know if if that agreement has been fully executed?
Yes,
Yeah.
I signed it.
Yeah.
You signed it.
I don't think I signed it, but somebody signed it because I'm not the chair of the
Oh,
Affordable
oh,
Housing
oh.
Trust. But it should be. That was like a number one goal I made.
That was after the last
Yeah,
meeting.
I was-
went in like
yep.
the next day, and Amber had it, and
So
I signed
I would think it would make sense that if.
And I
if-
asked her to
if
send
Beth
it.
keeps a copy of it with the committee records.
Could even put it online. We're just adding stuff online. Throw it up there.
If it's online, you could just, I don't know, print it, linked it, you could download it and do whatever it is you do.
Okay.
It should be like the minutes, same place that they go.
okay.
That's like a separate tab, though. Maybe.
Yeah.
I think that's neat because then people can find it faster than going through minutes like 10
Yeah.
years ago. You know?
Yeah.
Nice.
And it showed, the image should show 2 signatures on it. The image, the image should show the signature page.
Right. I mean, because it's I don't know 2-page document, whatever. But it's like I signed it.
No, it's like, I don't know, 3 or 4.
I know you're very excited for the signatures.
Because I want to show it to Mary Loria.
Okay.
Once it put to bed.
See, it says so right here.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't matter what other towns do. This is what we do.
Oh well. I don't know. I don't want to use this grant agreement to weaponize it and make work harder for people either, though. It
Oh,
was
no,
supposed to be
she
a
just-
nice thing
I know.
that we were doing.
It is, and she just needs to do it because it's best
It's-
practice.
But is that the money is getting uncommingled, right?
No.
So,
She decided that we didn't have to do it, and so she wasn't gonna.
so when I was the treasurer, which I no longer am,
Yeah.
it was very difficult thing to achieve. I met with her several times and we talked about things. I was showing her, the coalition, and she says the software they have wouldn't allow it to be done the way and Ken disagrees with it. So it's just very difference of opinions, and at the end of the day, she's the one doing it, and I don't understand that software to really.
Well, to me, it's like it doesn't. It's more. There needs to be a paper trail that's clean.
Yep.
If the money is all in one account, as long as you say $50,000 is from CPA and $10 is from other sources, as long as you're tracking it on a spreadsheet.
For me, I think it's.
You did your best. You tried.
But it also at the end of the day, there's so much that got paid out to that grant agreement from GSX that the only money, if you just assumed all other funds got paid out first, it's gone. It's
Yeah.
done.
So
There's not that much money now to even question whether it's CPA dollars or not, and it's not like we have influx
was
of
it thought
other
that
money.
there might be another settlement that would throw more money into?
Yeah, that was about 100,000, and even if you include that with the Pulte money, gone. You know what I mean? So I feel like we don't have another revenue source besides CPA, and I don't think going forward it's going to be an issue, and I don't think anybody's going to ever press us to say which is which, because it all went to affordable housing, and it's not like we can ever say, oh, we bought this truck over here, and you know what I mean? Like anything we spend is on affordable housing. So
Okay. CPA project signs. I finally, again, one of these dances where I was calling, and it was Harwich. Nobody ever called me back, so I finally called out of desperation the town administrator's office. Got a very nice lady answering the phone, and kind of explained to her, oh yeah, I know all about those signs. Let me check. I'll find out. And she must have called somebody in the town, and she said, oh, we got them in Chatham at Chatham Sign Company. So I, probably the next day after I saw the cemetery, the headstone guy, trotted over to downtown and met with this little man who, it's about $300, which I thought was a lot. But it's maybe this big. Their sign was an oval. And so he said, just tell me what you want on it. And it comes with wooden posts that goes in it. And so I thought I have yet to, I need to take that information to Sunshine, because I think that would be a lot easier just, to deal with here. But at least track down, it's, you could have it, they were doing carved sign, very fancy, and it's like, no, we just have like a little metal sign, just something that you could put up on the side of a project while the project's underway, so people can see it. It's not meant to be a permanent sign, and it would go from place to place, as long as it stayed in decent shape. So I kind of hit pay dirt on two things. Yes.
I'm gonna choose to believe it wasn't fate, and instead you John Wick researched and found these people, and you're like, you're not getting back to me. I'm gonna.
No, I think finding the headstone guy was God put me right where
that's
I needed
because
to
a
be.
storm came in and it blew you right into it too. It was a whole thing.
Oh, the weather was bad.
Right,
It was
yeah.
coming in, so I left the beach early.
Yep.
I was just like, I
Yep.
gotta go home. And I look up, and it's right there. There's a little rotary, and there's a Dunkin' Donuts, and I look, and no way. I whipped right in there, and the guy's like, "What's going on with you?"
You. What's your?
I've been trying to find you.
I'm not a stalker, but I'm a stalker.
Really, yeah.
But I've been looking for you for years.
So, okay. And the final, Wildwood, no update, no new information on him. So again, that's a good thing, because that would be more money that we need to spend. So, any other information that can legally come before this committee? If not,
Move to adjourn.
I have a motion.
Second.
Wait,
It's gonna be hard
Who's-
to pick up on the tape. We'll give it to Paul.
Paul. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Unanimous.
Night.
Okay.